Right now, we're all being tested on our ability to find harmony in our inner world, even when the outer world shows tremendous disharmony, and especially when that is the case. Because what happens is the nervous system becomes chaotic once we are exposed to an emotional pattern that feels chaotic in nature. Emotions such as fear, anger, aggressiveness, hatred, all forms of resistance and resentment will create in you this kind of jagged energy which feels infiltrating to the status of your inner world. But what these emotions are actually signaling, if we see them as catalysts, is that we need to create the harmony within ourselves. It's as simple as that. And we can take the role of allowing ourselves to come back to our own 0 point, that divine neutrality within our field, between physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body, whenever we feel like a cause for chaos arises. This is true for every single human being, regardless of your race, religion, age, gender, occupation, chosen belief system, or any other individual experience in your world. What this comes down to is your ability to regulate your own nervous system and to create harmonic modulation of your field. The simplest way to achieve that is to look at your breath as a bridge. Your breath, of course, being this modulator of energetic information that allows you to either create harmony and synchronization at the level of your mind and nervous system, an entire somatic experience, or to proliferate those negative frequencies that you might be experiencing. For instance, if something is happening outside of you that causes you to feel panic and fear, your breath will be the first thing that feels out of your control, because once you feel your heart rate escalating, you start to experience a state of being on a battleground, in fight or flight mode, where you sense a lack of control and that learned victimhood pattern may have a chance to creep in. You typically forget to breathe. You forget to move into yourself and to feel that awareness of your own field and where your energy is flowing. In many ways, we can see now that the overstimulation happening of people's mental fields due to so much information, fear-mongering, and divisiveness unfolding on the collective scales is causing people to forget the most important path within that allows for harmony to unfold in the inner world. It all begins there. And often, there, that balance ends. Because when we neglect to focus on the creation of this inner unity, something will always steal our awareness. We will feel manipulable, victimized, and like very tiny negligible parts of the collective dance, because we've forgotten the importance of our own consciousness. But today I want to give you the invitation to take it back, because it's entirely up to you to protect your field, to know the power of these various tools encoded in your space of consciousness, and to actually use them when the need arises, which especially is when you might forget about them the most, when you're scared, when there are unknowns you're facing, when you know it's only between you and your own soul to choose love over fear, as this is what it all comes down to. All of these negative energetic expressions, which feel like painful emotions and elements that lead to a loss of yourself, cause these chaotic waveforms. And if you were to look at them as kind of energetic geometric forms, they physically are jagged. They are not harmonic. But what creates a space of harmony within you is when you take yourself back to the land of harmonic synchronization, to the sinusoidal pattern, which is a rhythmic, harmonic wave that allows you to experience a dance of elements, the combination of masculine and feminine energy, synchronization between your sympathetic, masculine-leaning part of the nervous system and the parasympathetic, feminine-leaning part of your nervous system, where you can literally guide yourself back into a space of harmony which encodes within you that love and trust that allows you to surrender. The surrender that you might be seeking outside of yourself will never actually come if you're still holding this antagonistic energy in your own nervous system, and if you forget the importance of actually leading yourself back to that sacred touch point. So a really easy way to do that is to bring yourself back home, to literally feel, especially in a moment of chaos or distraction, that you're coming back into your heart field, that you're feeling where your awareness is. Is it outside of you? Is it focused on a myriad of different programs or elements that may be stealing your awareness and attention and leading you to outsourcing information or knowing, to actually taking this awareness back into yourself? Feeling where in your body do you sense the constriction? And letting yourself feel synchronized with all parts of your physical and energetic being. And when you do that, you will start to feel the intricacies. You may start to remember to connect to your own heart field, to feel your heart rate, to let yourself remember the feeling of actually being aware of and in control of your breath. And one really magical way of doing this is to come back to what's called isochronous rhythm, which is an equal ratio applied to phases that guide you back into a state of harmony. As what isochronous means is equal time, as breath and the input and output is meant to be balanced. And what happens when you're in a state of intensity is that these elements become erratic. You start to breathe really quickly. You feel completely out of control because you lose that sacred harmonic tempo. As soon as you start to guide yourself back into it by literally encoding this harmonic signature back into your field begins to reorganize and you become the conductor. And this magic can be very easily experienced. So I want to guide you into it today. First of all, breath and geometry are very closely interwoven, because if you were to look at breath as an expression of this wave-like rhythm, you would see how your breath is actually holding a ratio of information, which corresponds with the heart field and allows you to experience either something known as heart rate variability or the lack of it. When you choose intentional practices like highly intentional slow down breath work and deep conscious meeting of your own field, your heart rate variability begins to increase, which is a sign that stress reduction is occurring, anxiety is going down, and your field is starting to operate in a more harmonic manner. Here's a simple practice to begin experiencing this. I want you with me right now to experience how quickly your field changes when you guide yourself into this simple switch of ratios. You really understand how profound this is for the nervous system. So we're going to begin with a circular practice. And imagine the circle as a modulator of that oneness. The act of cycling, ebbing and flowing, and removing any kind of interference pattern, that energy of rejection, anything infiltrating your field, creating in you this energy of being chaotic or interrupted from inner stabilization. So for this circular breath motion, imagine on the inhale of 4 counts, you are moving through one part of the circle, breathing in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you exhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you repeat this circular motion, continuing to inhale and exhale at an equal tempo. I like to use 4 counts. You can use, if you'd like, 5 counts or 6 counts or even 3 counts if you'd like. Just ensuring that that tempo or ratio is equal. And what that will do is it allows you to experience a harmonic sinusoidal return to this breath pattern. The equal inhale and exhale is the key here. But this can also be amplified when we move into other geometric forms. So start with the circle. Let's repeat this practice again now. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now again. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel yourself already slowing down and feeling this deepening ease in your field as soon as you bring in that symmetry. This allows you to come back to a space of that equalization, which is the power of balance in your awareness. Now let's take it up a notch. We're going to now bring in the energy of a triangle, which is the Trinity. We're going to be adding the breath hold, which allows you to also slow down your breath even more and achieve more of that effect of parasympathetic stabilization. So What we're going to do now is inhale for 4 seconds as you're moving up the slope of the triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you get to the top, now exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we got to the bottom, now hold your breath for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now repeat all over again. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like you to repeat this for 12 times if possible. If you'd like to repeat more, if you need to, go right ahead. Or less if you find that this already is creating that balance for you. The point is to continue this rhythmic circulation of the breath for as long as it takes before you feel that your field begins to decompress. The nervous system should physically, tangibly begin to calm down, and you feel potentially a rush of energy coming through your extremities. If you're somebody that has cold hands and feet, for instance, when you're stressed, or if you find yourself holding your breath when you're in this kind of energy conserving situation, then use this as a way of bringing awareness back to where the flow needs to be returned. And this will create an instant kind of field reset, almost like you're permitting yourself to come back into calm and surrender, when otherwise your vital signs would be indicating you don't feel like you have that safety and permission to do so. Now, to create even more of a symmetrical harmonic patterning, we're going to add another geometric side to the mix, bringing in the energy of the square. For the square, you're going to do an equal circulation between an inhale, a hold, and an exhale and a hold. And remember, like you saw with the triangle, when you're holding your breath, that is on the horizontal axis. So when we get to the top of the square, that's where you're going to hold your breath. And when we get back to the bottom, that's where you hold for another equal count of 4, or however many seconds you choose. So let's begin. Inhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's repeat again. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat for a count of 12 or for however many you would like. You should be feeling already like you are feeling a sense of calm instigated, as whatever pattern you were holding on to that felt chaotic in nature will be transmuted and neutralized by the inclusion of this harmonic breath rhythm. So you can see how it's so simple to weave this kind of intentionality into your field. And the only thing that's required is that you set aside devotion, patience, and intention to experience this. All of the parts of you want to work in synchrony. Naturally, you are designed in such a way that the energy within you wants to cooperate between your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual experiences. So whenever you feel like there is a lack of that harmony or synchrony, it's really important to ask yourself, where is that blockage coming from? Where do you feel like you cannot bring in the harmony? And why is that the case? Try to find what is the culprit behind your lack of awareness, or what has been creating the parasitic energy in you that's been siphoning your life force, or causing you to feel like you can't bring in this essential oneness, because that oneness really has to do with you. The world may seem to collide with the inner conditions you have set to experience peace inside you, but really, the outer world is a projection of our own awareness. In so many ways, the collective external experience is due to our individual experiences still being chaotic. We will feel like nothing outside of us is controllable, but then at the same time, we neglect our own inner child. We forget about our breath. We choose things unintentionally and habitually. We hold on to our shadow. We fear letting go of our past, and then we think that we can go ahead and blame the world for the creation of our struggles. The world can offer an excuse for your subconscious to feel righteous, to stay in the position that it is, but really that is the subconscious looking for evidence to support its existence. And that's one of the deepest ways that you can decode your own emotional triggers and patterns of chaos. What you now feel is creating a struggle is also yielding inside you where harmony needs to be created as a set point so that you can now be a harmonic intermediary in this reality. We need more people that choose not to give in to external chaos and just join the war happening outside of us, but instead who choose to create deeper alignment within to the point where they are incorruptible, where they know how to adhere to higher, deeper values and choose that integrity and love, so that even when fear might explode in the externality, us harmonic humans become these tuning forks, setting a signal and an example embodied in flesh and skin that allows other people to choose this kind of harmonic synchronization. If we were to all do this, imagine how much more easily this would be accessible. But many of us aren't shown the example, and so we need to now choose to align with our souls and to choose to take the side, not of our shadow or our pain body, but of our own higher self. And it can only come through when you've actually created the coherent nervous system patterning to now enter this higher frequency state. So if you feel like you can't align with the higher frequency part of your own nature, this is why. You haven't yet chosen to create enough alignment in you that you can feel yourself falling up into your own higher octave of consciousness. And if that isn't something that you feel is attainable, there's a paradox in you that you haven't yet learned to accept. The ability to hold paradox is the ability to both accept a negative emotion and not pacify it, allowing there to be a transmutation that brings you into awareness of why it needed to exist and how it's actually suggesting how harmony is now accessible within you. It's now time for all of us to participate in this energetic movement without us even looking for validation or for any evidence of a change happening outside of us. The change happens within. It happens within each and every heart, each and every nervous system, and each field that's operating in harmony, suggestive that really for the world to come back to harmony, we all need to play our part to avoid participating in war and chaos outside of us. And so I hope you remember your power to create this kind of alignment and come back to this practice whenever you need to come back home to yourself, because you'll find in that peace that you can create that the only solution you've really been seeking is the harmonic octave that can be unlocked within.